Road junctions, Rules 170 to Rules 183. The Highway Code is published by the Department for Transport and is licensed under the Open Government Licence version 3.0. More details in the description below. Rule 170. Take extra care at junctions. You should watch out for cyclists, motorcyclists and pedestrians, including powered wheelchairs and mobility scooter users, as they are not always easy to see. Be aware that they may not have seen or heard you if you are approaching from behind. Give way to pedestrians crossing or waiting to cross a road into which or from which you are turning. If they have started to cross, they have priority, so give way. See also Rule H2. Remain behind cyclists, horse riders, horse-drawn vehicles and motorcyclists at junctions, even if they are waiting to turn and are positioned close to the curb. Watch out for long vehicles which may be turning at a junction ahead. They may have to use the whole width of the road to make the turn. See Rule 221. Watch out for horse riders who may take a different line on the road from that which you would expect. You should not assume when waiting at a junction that a vehicle coming from the right and signalling left will actually turn. Wait and make sure. Look all around before emerging. Do not cross or join a road until there is a gap large enough for you to do so safely. Rule 171. You must stop behind the line at a junction with a stop sign and a solid white line across the road. Wait for a safe gap in the traffic before you move off. Rule 172. The approach to a junction may have a give way sign or a triangle marked on the road. You must give way to traffic on the main road when emerging from a junction with broken white lines across the road. Rule 173. Dual carriageways. When crossing or turning right, first assess whether the central reservation is deep enough to protect the full length of your vehicle. If it is, then you should treat each half of the carriageway as a separate road. Wait in the central reservation until there is a safe gap in the traffic on the second half of the road. If the central reservation is too shallow for the length of your vehicle, wait until you can cross both carriageways in one go. Rule 174. Box junctions. These have crisscross yellow lines painted on the road. You must not enter the box until your exit road or lane is clear. However, you may enter the box and wait when you want to turn right and are only stopped from doing so by oncoming traffic or by other vehicles waiting to turn right. At signalled roundabouts, you must not enter the box unless you can cross over it completely without stopping. Junctions controlled by traffic lights. Rule 175. You must stop behind the white stop line across your side of the road unless the light is green. If the amber light appears, you may go on only if you have already crossed the stop line or are so close to it that to stop might cause a collision. Rule 176. You must not move forward over the white line when the red light is showing. Only go forward when the traffic lights are green if there is enough room for you to clear the junction safely or you are taking up a position to turn right. If the traffic lights are not working, treat the situation as you would an unmarked junction and proceed with great care. Rule 177. Green filter arrow. This indicates a filter lane only. Do not enter that lane unless you want to go in the direction of the arrow. You may proceed in the direction of the green arrow when it or the full green light shows. Give other traffic, especially cyclists, time and room to move into the correct lane. Rule 178. Advanced stop lines. Some signal-controlled junctions have advanced stop lines to allow cyclists to be positioned ahead of other traffic. Motorists, including motorcyclists, must stop at the first white line reached if the lines are amber or red, and should avoid blocking the way or encroaching on the marked area at other times, for example if the junction ahead is blocked. If your vehicle has proceeded over the first white line at the time the signal goes red, you should stop as soon as possible and must stop at the second white line. Allow cyclists, including any moving or waiting alongside you, enough time and space to move off when the green signal shows. Drivers of large vehicles should stop sufficiently behind the first white line so that they can see the whole area where cyclists may be waiting, allowing for any blind spot in front of the vehicle. Turning right. Rule 179. Well before you turn right, you should use your mirrors to make sure you know the position and movement of traffic behind you. You should give a right turn signal. Take up a position just left of the middle of the road or in the space marked for traffic turning right. Leave room for other vehicles to pass on the left if possible. Rule 180. Wait until there is a safe gap between you and any oncoming vehicle. Watch out for cyclists, motorcyclists, pedestrians and other road users. Check your mirrors and blind spot again to make sure you are not being overtaken, then make the turn. Do not cut the corner. Take great care when turning into a main road. You will need to watch for traffic in both directions and wait for a safe gap. Remember, mirrors, signal, manoeuvre. Rule 181. When turning right at crossroads, where an oncoming vehicle is also turning right, there is a choice of two methods. Turn right side to right side. Keep the other vehicle on your right and turn behind it. This is generally the safer method as you have a clear view of any approaching traffic when completing your turn. Alternatively, left side to left side, turning in front of each other. This can block your view of oncoming vehicles, so take extra care. Cyclists and motorcyclists in particular may be hidden from your view. Road layout, markings or how the other vehicle is positioned can determine which course should be taken. Turning left. Rule 182. Use your mirrors and give a left turn signal well before you turn left. Do not overtake just before you turn left and watch out for traffic coming up on your left before you make the turn, especially if driving a large vehicle. Cyclists, motorcyclists and other road users in particular may be hidden from your view. Rule 183. When turning, keep as close to the left as is safe and practicable. Give way to any vehicles using a bus lane, cycle track or tramway from either direction, including when they are passing slow-moving or stationary vehicles on either side. Roundabouts, Rules 184 to 190. Rule 184. On approaching a roundabout, take notice and act on all the information available to you, including traffic signs, traffic lights, and lane markings which direct you into the correct lane. You should use mirrors signal manoeuvre at all stages. Decide as early as possible which exit you need to take. Give an appropriate signal. See Rule 186. Time your signals so as not to confuse other road users. Get into the correct lane. Adjust your speed and position to fit in with traffic conditions. Be aware of the speed and position of all the road users around you. Rule 185. When reaching the roundabout, you should give priority to traffic approaching from your right, unless directed otherwise by signs, road markings or traffic lights. Check whether road markings allow you to enter the roundabout without giving way. If so, proceed, but still look to the right before joining. Watch out for all other road users already on the roundabout. Be aware they may not be signalling correctly or at all. Look forward before moving off to make sure traffic in front has moved off. Rule 186. Signals and position. When taking the first exit to the left, unless signs or markings indicate otherwise, signal left and approach in the left-hand lane. Keep to the left on the roundabout and continue signalling left to leave. When taking an exit to the right or going full circle, unless signs or markings indicate otherwise, signal right and approach in the right-hand lane. Keep to the right on the roundabout until you need to change lanes to exit the roundabout. Signal left after you have passed the exit before the one you want. When taking any intermediate exit, unless signs or markings indicate otherwise, select the appropriate lane on approach to the roundabout. You should not normally need to signal on approach. Stay in this lane until you need to alter course to exit the roundabout. Signal left after you have passed the exit before the one you want. When there are more than 3 lanes at the entrance to a roundabout, use the most appropriate lane on approach and through it. You should give priority to cyclists on the roundabout. They will be travelling more slowly than motorised traffic. Give them plenty of room and do not attempt to overtake them within their lane. Allow them to move across your path as they travel around the roundabout. Cyclists, horse riders and horse-drawn vehicles may stay in the left-hand lane when they intend to continue across or around the roundabout and should signal right to show you they are not leaving the roundabout. Drivers should take extra care when entering a roundabout to ensure they do not cut across cyclists, horse riders or horse-drawn vehicles in the left-hand lane who are continuing around the roundabout. Rule 187. In all cases, watch out for and give plenty of room to pedestrians who may be crossing the approach and exit roads. Watch out for traffic crossing in front of you on the roundabout, especially vehicles intending to leave by the next exit. Traffic which may be straddling lanes or positioned incorrectly. Watch out for motorcyclists. Watch out for and give plenty of room to long vehicles, including those towing trailers. These might have to take a different course or straddle lanes either approaching or on the roundabout because of their length. Watch out for their signals. Rule 188. Mini roundabouts. Approach these in the same way as normal roundabouts. All vehicles must pass around the central markings except large vehicles which are physically incapable of doing so. Remember, there is less space to manoeuvre and less time to signal. Avoid making U-turns at mini roundabouts, but beware of others doing this. Rule 189. At double mini roundabouts, treat each roundabout separately and give way to traffic from the right. Rule 190. Multiple roundabouts. At some complex junctions, there may be a series of mini roundabouts at each intersection. Treat each mini roundabout separately and follow the normal rules.